gads, fellow scientists. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? There's an elephant over there. He's right over there on the horizon. Goodness, those teeth are disgusting. He could use some elephant toothpaste. In fact, we're gonna make some today on Science Adventure. That's right, kids. Today on Science Adventures, we're making some elephant toothpaste. But don't let the name fool you. I was just joking when I said that we could actually use this stuff to brush an elephant's teeth with. In fact, I tried this out on my pet elephant Sparky, and he hated this stuff. He tried to eat me. It's very rude. But anyway, don't use this stuff on your pet elephant or any real elephants anywhere. They're not gonna like it. I mean, my pet monkey did kind of like it. He ate the stuff like candy, actually, but no one besides me has a pet monkey, so that doesn't even matter. We're getting off track here. I don't know why they call it elephant toothpaste. Science has a bunch of funny names for everything, like mitochondria. Well, what does that mean? It's actually the powerhouse of the cell, but that's for a different lesson. We're not trying to brush any teeth today. We're just trying to make as big of a mess as possible. That's the goal for today. No, really. That's it. We're not setting out to prove anything today. I just can't take another failed experiment. Just gonna have some fun using science. As you may have noticed in some of the earlier episodes, certain chemicals have some pretty cool reactions when they interact with other chemicals. Those chemicals today are hydrogen peroxide and yeast. Hydrogen peroxide is a liquid that contains both hydrogen and oxygen molecules. When it interacts with yeast, the yeast breaks it down into both oxygen and water molecules. This reaction usually happens very slowly, so we're gonna add in some dish soap in there. When all these chemicals react, they produce this weird, messy, foamy stuff. Kinda like toothpaste. Guess that's why they call it elephant's toothpaste. Anyway, all of our materials are currently at the blast site, but here's what we'll need. Of our main ingredients, we'll need hydrogen peroxide, yeast, and dish soap. You can find all of these at your local grocery store or pharmacy. Other than the main ingredients, we're also going to need some warm water, a container to do the experiment in, and if you really want to get crazy, some food coloring to really make our elephant toothpaste pop. Now, I can't stress this enough. I always say, never go on a science adventure without a parent or guardian, but that is most important for this experiment. You don't want to do this by yourself. Your parent or guardian should probably be doing this for you, and you should just be watching and freaking out about how cool it is. As long as you can accept that, I think we're ready to go on a science adventure. incredibly cool science experiment to bring you some breaking news. Today begins the first ever Woodridge Public Library Science Adventure Take and Make Science Experiment, where you can take the adventure home with you. We'll give you a fun, quick, and easy science experiment that you can do from the comfort of your own home. Today's Take and Make Science Experiment is screaming balloons. Like I said, this one's pretty simple. You only need two materials to work with: a balloon and a little bitty hex nut. We're going to take the hex nut and put it in the balloon, like so. Now, make sure you get the hex nut in the bottom of the balloon here, so we don't want to suck it in and choke on it or something while we're blowing up the balloon. Because the next step is to blow up the balloon. But today, we're going to be using a concept called centripetal force. I mentioned it a little bit in our tornado experiment. Basically, what a centripetal force is an inward force on an object that causes it to move in a circular motion. Lucky for us, our balloon is already kind of circular in itself. So we just need a little bit of force, and we'll force our hex nut into a centripetal circular motion. Now, our hex nut, being the way that it is shaped, is going to create vibrations on the surface of our balloon. These vibrations might sound a little different depending on how much force we use, and thus exert how much centripetal force is exerted, or the size of the balloon, or a few other factors. But no matter what, it's going to be making some noise. It's going to sound like a spooky ghost. Don't believe me? Let's try it out. Exert some force on our balloon. Let's spin it around like so. See it spinning around in there? It's going wild. Sounds like a spooky ghost. Ooh, spooky ghost! Use it to scare your little sister or something. I love scaring my little sister. Or you could just treat it as a really, really cool science experiment that you can do at home. I think I speak for everyone when I say that that experiment was a scream. Anyway, now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright, here we are at the blast site. We've got all our materials and we're going to do a little mixing before we get to the actual reaction. As always, my motto is safety first, then teamwork, so make sure to wear protective gloves at the very least, maybe even goggles, or if you're like me, some glasses should suffice. This isn't going to be anything too crazy. And like I said, never go on a science adventure without a parent or guardian present. Now I mentioned a container, and the size of the container is going to greatly affect the size of the reaction. Now, Mr. McSmarty doesn't like that I make a big mess, so we're using a really small container. But the bigger the container, the more ingredients you can add and the bigger the reaction. So here are our ingredients. We're going to start mixing. What we're going to take first is the teaspoon of yeast. And we're going to mix it in this bowl. Then we're going to take 2 teaspoons of warm water. And we're gonna mix it real good. Because this is what is gonna cause the reaction to our hydrogen peroxide. Mix it up real good in there. Okay. Now, we're going to need about a half a cup hydrogen peroxide. Since this is such a small container, we're also going to use a funnel to get it in there. Have our measuring cup. Add a little bit of food coloring. Probably take the bottom off, funnel off for these. And just a squirt of dish soap to really speed up the reaction. We're going to swirl this around a little bit, and then we're going to add the yeast. Let's go on a science adventure. All right, so we have our ingredients. It's time to cause the reaction. It's a slow burn, but there she goes. There we have our own bottle. Elephant's toothpaste. Just squeeze it onto a toothbrush. Now, be very careful, because this does get very hot. I can feel the heat coming off on my gloves already. But as I say, what's my motto? Safety first, then teamwork. As long as you abide by that and always have a parent or guardian present when you go on a science adventure, you'll be okay. As I said, the bigger the container, the bigger the reaction. So go wild with it. You can fill a whole swimming pool with this stuff if you want to. All in the name of science. Try out your own combinations and see what you can come up with. I'm so excited to see what you guys think of. For now, I'm Professor McSmarty, signing off.